What's going on, everybody? It's Rodrigo Fonador with Asheville Cash Buyers here, doing another episode of Whiteboard Wednesday. That's right. Every Wednesday you can find us right here on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can get some information about real estate here in the Asheville area. If you've got questions, if you've got concerns, if you're curious about anything, let us know. We will answer these questions for you. All right, guys. Today is episode number 37 for Whiteboard Wednesday, and we got a special treat today. We are going to be talking about something that is, well, there's a lot of moving pieces to it, quite frankly, and this episode, we're talking about short sales. All right, short sales. And just as a quick head note, a lot of this information that I'm going to be sharing from this comes from an interview that we did with Steve Wilde at the Wilde Law Firm here in Asheville, North Carolina. If you're curious to watch that whole interview, that was about 30 minutes, and we really dived into short sales. You can click the link here below. I think it's going to appear right here where my hand is, or you will also include it in the notes below, so you can go check that out. If you're really curious, or if there's some questions about the information I'm about to share that you have, go check that out, or go check that interview out, and I think we'll be able to get everything answered for you there. So we are talking about a short sale today. I got some notes on my phone, so bear with me. I just want to make sure I get all this information to you all accurately. A short sale. Let's start with a very basic definition. So basically, a short sale is when a property sells short of the balance owed to the bank. In other words, if the mortgage on a property is $100,000 and the property sells for $80,000, that would be a short sale. It would be a sale that is short of the full mortgage amount. The basic question that comes to this, or the first, interesting moment, is why would a bank do that? Well, frankly, banks aren't in the business of owning properties. They want to write loans. They don't want to own houses. So they're in the mortgage business. They're not in the property, management business, and that is why they would do that. There's a lot of misconceptions when we got into it as far as what are the requirements or what needs to be in place for a short sale. So there's basically 4 things that need to be in place for a short sale. All right, ready for this? Boom! There you go, guys. Those are the 4 things, the 4 requirements that we need to have for a short sale. So this is what we're going to cover today. Again, if you have more questions about this or you want more information in depth, just go check out the interview we did on Asheville Real Estate News with Steve Wilde. So 4 requirements. Involuntary hardship. The loan has to be in default. There has to be a market price offer. And there has to be full participation. So involuntary hardship. There's a couple of different things. The barrier of entry into involuntary hardship isn't exactly what we would call high. So what is that then? So involuntary hardship is curtailing of income, or if there's just lower income coming in, divorce, medical issue, if somebody passes away in the family, or relocation of more than 75 miles. So involuntary hardship can be one of 5 things. Again, curtailing of the income, the divorce, medical issue, death in the family, or relocation of more than 75 miles. Having to be in default, that's pretty straightforward. If you're missing payments, if you're in the pre-foreclosure process, if you're behind on your payments, etc., you're in default at that point. All right, so market price offer. You'd have to get an appraisal on the property, and say the appraisal comes in for $100,000. Well, the bank would expect to see an offer for $100,000. So a little thing about this. Obviously, if the property's worth $100,000 and there's $100,000 owed on it, you don't need a short sale. The only situation that you'd need a short sale is if the market value of the property is, say, $80,000 and you owe $100,000 on it. And even then you might not be able to, I don't know if that's accurate, damn it.
What did you say?
The property doesn't have to be underwater.
What do you mean?
For the short sale to come across, for the short sale to happen.
What do you mean underwater?
I need to redo this whole part. I'm going to do it again. All right?
Okay.
There you go, guys. Here are 4 requirements for a short sale. So we're going to talk about involuntary hardship first. Involuntary hardship, there's basically 1 of 5 things that the bank's going to typically want to see. Curtailing of income or a decrease of income in the family, a divorce, that there's a medical issue, major medical issue, death in the family, somebody passes away, or a relocation of 75 miles or more. So it's not a super high threshold, but you do need to have one of those 5 things in place for the bank to consider that there's an involuntary hardship. All right. The other thing is it has to be in default. Basically, you can't be current on your mortgage. You have to be behind on payments. Pretty straightforward. Market price offer. Well, that one's a little bit, relative. What's a full market price offer? Basically, we need to get an appraisal of what the as-is value is of the house, and then the bank's going to want to see an offer for the as-is value. So the appraised value is going to need to come in below whatever the mortgage note is. So you need to have an appraised value that can support showing that the property is worth less than what is owed on the mortgage. One thing to take into consideration is that the market price offer, let's just say is $100,000 is what the appraisal is. You can subtract from that if you can show the bank or the appraisal that there are some major issues. So what are the major issues? Well, if there's major roof damage, if there's water and or mold damage, if there's a mechanical issue, if that doesn't have heat or it doesn't have AC, and then if there's foundational or structural issues. So if you have any of those 5 things, again, it's roof, water, mold, HVAC, or a foundation issue, then you can use those substantiated by a specific quote from a contractor to argue for a lower offer on the short sale when you go to make that offer with the bank. And then last of all, and this one's pretty straightforward, is you just need full participation of everybody that's on the note. Now that is key. It's not everybody who's on the deed. It's everybody who's on the note, okay? So anybody who's on the note needs to be fully participating. So there you go, y'all. This is a very quick snapshot of what short sales are. If you have any questions, if there's any way we can be of help, definitely reach out to us. Feel free to message us or just, mention something in the comments. All right, y'all. Have a powerful day. See you guys next week. Take care. Blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.